Very cool. Right, so what I would like you to do is get your bolster and initially just give it a little bit of a snap at the bottom and then place it on top of your block. Get yourself as close as possible to the bolster. And then your either has to relax out, falling open, arms out, get yourself nice and comfortable. Oh, and I better take my mask off. It might actually be audible now. And just take a few moments to settle into your space. Just begin to notice your breathing. Eyes closed if you feel comfortable enough. And just begin to feel when your body touches the ground. Use the inhale to expand into your belly and breast. And enjoy the exhale to fully relax into your space. On Friday, I had a book arriving, which is Evie Littrop's second novel. I started it after work and I finished it the next morning. It was a really good book. And she had one really nice sentence in the book in which she says, many people dream of falling. Very few ever reach the ground. So I would put that as our intent for today. And to me, it basically states that you can worry as much as you like about anything, but mostly it doesn't actually happen, whatever you're worrying about. And I don't know if you have dreamt of falling. I did when I was a kid. And I woke up and I was really distressed. So I ran to my parents' bedroom. I crawled under the blanket with my mom. And I told her that I had been falling in my dreams. And my mom just turned around, gave me a hug and went, well, you were dreaming. Just dream that you can fly. So with that, I invite you to fly in today's lesson. Begin to notice the air on your skin. And then seal your lips and begin to breathe in and out through your nose. And just enjoy this moment at the start of the class. And be grateful for the fact that you've taken all the time to come here today. Take 3 more breaths just here in your own time. And then gently bring yourself up to seated. Just take your time. Put the bolster to one side. But keep it up. And then put your block just underneath your pelvis. And gradually lie back down again. Then bring the hands overhead into a morning stretch. Stay for the inhale. And then bring your right leg into your chest. Clasp your hands round the knee. And just play with how close or how far away the knee needs to be from your torso. And maybe make adjustments to the block. It should feel comfortable. So maybe it needs to come a little bit higher up or go a little bit further down. And then take a breath to breathe into the left hip here. And on the exhale, let go of any tension which you may feel there. If it's too much tension, you can always move the right leg slightly over to the right to make it more comfortable. And then begin to circle the foot. Be nice and mindful about it. Go through every single bit of mobility you have in this foot. And then change direction. And then stop circling. Bring the arms out to the side. Flex your foot. And begin to straighten the leg as far as you can or as little as you want towards the ceiling. And then inhale, bring it back down, bend it. Exhale, straighten it. One more time, inhale, bring it back down. And then straighten it again on your exhale. Keep it wherever it's comfortable for you, whether it's totally straight or not, doesn't really matter. And begin to flex and point the foot. That should give a nice calf stretch, maybe even a little bit of a hamstring stretch. And if you hear a lot of cracks, that's fine. Again, use the maximum mobility of the foot. And then bend the knee back in and move the knee with your left hand over to the left. Stay on the block, if not, just adjust a little bit. And take 3 breaths here. Take the inhale to expand into your rib cage, create space between the ribs. And use the exhale to melt further to the ground. On the next inhale, bring the foot back to center. Stretch it out, stretch the arms overhead. Take an inhale in the morning stretch. Stay for the exhale. And then on the next inhale, bring the left knee into your chest. Initially, just play around with the position of the knee. And then when you've found it and you're comfortable there, begin to circle the foot. Really nice and mindfully go through all the bits and bobs. If it feels a bit tense somewhere, take a little bit longer, but don't avoid it. And then change direction. And then stop, circling the foot, bring the arms out to the side, T position. Flex the foot, and then begin to straighten the leg. And then inhale, bring it back. Exhale, straighten. Or go as straight as you can. Inhale, back. And then straighten it again. Stay there. So begin to flex and point the foot. And stop flexing and pointing. Bring the knee in. Use your right hand to bring the left knee over to the right. And maybe you need to sort of shift that your bum stays on the block. I need to do that certainly. And then take 3 breaths here, focusing on creating space on the inhale. And let go of any tension on the exhale. And on the next next inhale, bring the left knee back in, center your bum on the block again, bring the right knee in as well. Clasp both hands round the knees and just begin to circle them opposite directions first to the outside and then bring them back in. That can be quite close to your torso, maybe it's quite far away, just somewhere where you feel comfortable. And then here also change directions. And put the feet in the middle, put the knees into the middle, put the feet back onto the ground, about hip distance apart. Take an inhale, tuck your tailbone. On the exhale, lift your bum a little bit off the block, put the block to the side. And then bring the arms out, facing diagonally away from your body, palms facing up. And on the next inhale, lift all the way into bridge. Stay in bridge. And then think about pushing the thighs towards each other, lifting all 10 feet off the floor, and then placing the toes back down. Take another inhale. And on the exhale, roll all the way back down, vertebrae by vertebrae. On the next inhale, tuck your tailbone. And on the exhale, roll all the way back up. Stay for the inhale, and then vertebrae by vertebrae, roll all the way back down. This is just to mobilize our spine a little bit. Take an inhale, tuck the tailbone. On the exhale, roll all the way back up. Stay for the inhale, and then one more time, exhale, roll all the way back down. Another inhale to tuck the tailbone. Exhale, roll all the way back up. Stay up, bring the arms overhead, and then make the palms face towards your legs, and begin to flick your fingers just to wake them up as well. Let's do just another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the arms back out to the side. Take another inhale, come a little bit higher in your bridge. And then on the exhale, come all the way back down. Then clasp your hands round your knees. Bring your head into your knees and just give yourself a tight hug here. And put the feet back down to the ground. Clasp the hands behind your back. Let the elbows face towards the ceiling. Have the feet about hip distance apart. Take an inhale, tuck your tailbone. On the exhale, just lift head and shoulders up. Stay for the inhale, and then exhale, roll all the way back down. Take another inhale, tuck the tailbone. Exhale, roll all the way back up. Stay for the inhale, and then roll all the way back down. Let's do another 3 of those in your own time. You might be breathing faster or slower than I do. And then you stay down, clasp the back of your thighs and just begin to roll forwards and backwards a little bit until you can come to a seated position.
Sorry for those.
You got a little bit too fast there, were you? Right. In the seated position, let's initially just take an inhale, bring the hands overhead, and then exhale, bring them back down. Another inhale like that. Keep them up. Bring your left hand behind you, the right hand onto your left knee. Take another inhale, grow tall. And then on the exhale, twist a little bit more. Another inhale to elongate the spine. And then exhale, twist a bit more. One more just like that. And come back to the front. Bring both hands behind you and very gently lean forward. And maybe you can bring the hands in front of you. Maybe not, it's entirely up to you. And then very gently roll all the way back up. Take an inhale, bring the hands up. Exhale, back down. Inhale up one more time. And then begin to twist the right hand behind you, left hand on your knee. Take an inhale. And on the exhale, twist a bit more. Take another inhale to really grow tall. And exhale, twist a bit more. One more just like that. And come back to center. Unclasp the cross of your leg and just change it. Bring your hands behind you one more time. Again, be nice and tall. Bring the shoulders down. And then lean forward. Maybe with the hands behind you to scaffold a bit. Maybe with the hands in front of you. Whatever you are happy with. And then gently roll all the way back up. And then in your own time, maybe without your hands, come up to standing. Maybe have a little bit of water in between. Never forget your water overstick. And then let's stand in the front of our mat, wherever you decide your front is. Now we're going to say, take an inhale into mountain pose. Forward bend on your exhale. Inhale into halfway lift. Exhale, forward bend again. And then step the left leg back, left knee comes down. Into a low lunge. Take an inhale, come all the way up with your hands. And then exhale, bring both hands back down. On the next inhale, open out to the right. Stay here for breath for 2. And then on the next exhale, bring the hand back down. Grab your block again. Put your hand, put your left hand on the block. And then just begin to play a little bit, just going into the half split, or somewhere along those lines, and then back into a low lunge. Just sort of create some movement here. Maybe you want to go a little bit to the side. Maybe you feel just quite happy here. Maybe it's easier with the hands on the ground. Try to keep a nice straight back here. And then stay in your half split. And here it might be quite nice to actually have the block to be nice and straight. Maybe it's easy to lean over it. And maybe you can even see if you can flex the foot. That might be quite strong already. Oh wow, that looks really good, Cass. Looks better than I do. And then lower the foot again, come back into a low lunge, put the block to the side, hands down, step forward into a forward bend, take an inhale into a halfway lift, forward bend again, and then come all the way up to standing. Hands to heart, and then inhale, mountain pose, forward bend on the exhale, halfway lift, forward bend again, and this time bring the right knee, or right leg back, right knee comes down. Find your balance here, then take an inhale, come all the way up. Stay for the exhale, maybe tuck your tailbone on the next inhale. And then on the exhale, bring both hands down. And on the inhale, open out to the left hand side. Take a few breaths here, really think about opening the chest up. Still elongate your spine. And still be tall towards the side of the room here. And then bring the hands back down. Grab your block if that's comfortable. And begin to take some movement in and out of low lunge into half split. Maybe with a little bit of circling, whatever feels good. It's just a sort of warm-up exercise here. And then when you feel warm enough, stay in this half split. And maybe on this block, maybe on the ground, and maybe you can do some sort of flexion of the foot here. It's a nice sort of calf and hamstring stretch. Really think about sticking the bum out. Very good. Stay for another inhale. Enjoy the exhale. And then move forward into the low lunge. Put the block out of the way. Step forward into your forward bend. And this time grab opposite elbows into ragdoll pose. And just take some movement from side to side. Have a generous bend in your knees so that you can almost have your torso lying on your sides. And then let the hands come down. Clasp the hands behind your back. And see if you can let them fall overhead for chest opener here. And stay for the inhale again. Stay for the exhale, but bring the hands down. And then inhale into a halfway lift. Exhale into forward bend. And then inhale, come all the way up to mountain pose, hands to heart center. Are we getting a little bit warmer? Excellent. Do we need some water? Stop. Are we good? Good for now? Okay. Take an inhale into mountain pose one more time. Forward bend for your exhale. Inhale into a halfway lift. Forward bend again, but this time step back into a plank. And think about having your wrists underneath your shoulders, having one line from your shoulders through your bum into your heels. And really dome into your shoulders. I know this is hard work. You're doing fine. Somebody's already doing push-ups here. Wow. Am I not working you hard enough? And then bring your right knee down, pivot the right foot to the outside, and come into a variation of side plank. And then see if you can lift the left leg and keep a balance here. Yeah, you're all doing really well there. It's not easy, is it? And then lower the leg again. Roll back into your plank. Think about rolling into your shoulders again. And this time bring the left knee down. Pivot it out to the side. Set up for your side plank variation. Think about active hands. Once you have found your balance, lift this right leg. And see if you can, for strength, just stay here. And if you feel everything wobbles, that's intentionally, that keeps you upright and stops you from falling over. Then lower the right leg again. Turn round into your plank one more time. Again, get into a strong plank here. And then bring the knees down. Sort of open the knees out a little bit and begin to sit on your heels basically and come into a child's pose. And just stay here for a moment, experiencing this pose. Child's pose is a great pose for bringing some breathing activity into the back of your rib cage, into the lower back. So basically if you come onto your fingertips and just sort of push yourself back a little bit and then lower the hands again. Take another deep inhale and see how far you can actually breathe into the back of your body. That's something we don't really think about very often. And then roll yourself back up onto your knees. Grab your bolster, put that in front of you. And then roll back down into a child's pose. And then, maybe have the face on one side, maybe have the face down, or, the other way. And just take a moment and feel how this feels so much more supported and so much nicer, really, right? I hope you agree with me here. On the next inhale, bring the hands back down, lift yourself into tabletop, keep the bolster where it is, tuck your toes, and come into downward dog. Think about wrapping your shoulders so that your elbows face the back of the room, having your bum as the highest point, clasping with your hands onto the mat so that they are active, and then begin to walk the dog a little bit, lift one heel then the other, maybe even swing the hips from side to side here, until you come into a steady downward dog, and then lift your right leg high, bring your right knee to your right elbow, and then you might need to push the bolster a little bit, bring the knee to the wrist, bring the foot over to the left, and come into a pigeon. Initially quite a high pigeon, so that you can actually do something with this block. And we have been doing pigeon last week and a lot of hip openers. And this is just to sort of give you a much more comfortable version of pigeon. So put the bolster in front of you, lean over the bolster, and lie down. And just enjoy this. Take about 5 breaths here, I think. To just sort of melt onto your bolster, let go of any tension you may feel. On the next exhale, bring your hands back down, tuck the back too, and bring yourself into three-legged dog. Then bend the right leg and let the foot drift over to, God, what is that? Your left. And just stay here for a moment. And then on the next inhale, circle that leg. First one way. And then circle it the other way. Then straighten the leg, bring it back down, come back into downward dog, walk your dog one more time. And then come to a steady downward dog, really push yourself towards your legs, wrap the shoulders so that the elbows are facing backwards. Take an inhale, bring the left leg high. And then exhale, left knee against left elbow. And then push the foot over to the right, slide it down to the wrist, slide the right leg back. And my bolster is actually lying perfectly. I hope you use this as well. If not, make amendments. And then lie over the bolster. And take 5 deep breaths here just to melt into the pose. And bring your hands back down, and on the next exhale, lift yourself into three-legged dog again. Bend the left knee, bring the heel quite close to your bum with a hip opener. And then circle the leg one direction once, and then circle it the other way once. That's quite hard, isn't it? Straighten the leg into three-legged dog again. Bring the foot down, bring your knees down, come to tabletop, and temporarily move that bolster out of the way. Have a nice strong tabletop position with your shoulders above your wrists, your hips above your knees. Maybe you want to tuck the toes, maybe you want to have them unflicked, that's all fine. And then initially just begin to lower into the shoulder and lift the shoulder. This is just to create some shoulder movement. Warm that up a little bit more. Then come to a steady tabletop again. Take an inhale into cow, so tuck your tailbone up and bring your head up. And then exhale into cat. Inhale into cow, and really think about this being one continuous movement. And sort of going through all the motion your spine is allowing you to. And come back to a steady tabletop. If you have your toes tucked, unflip them. Take an inhale, bring your left hand out. And on the exhale, thread the needle. So you bring the left hand underneath you. Inhale, come on up again, open out. Exhale, thread the needle again. One more time. Inhale, come all the way up. And then place the hand back down. And take a child's pose for a moment. Open your knees a little bit wider. Push yourself down. Take 3 breaths here to breathe as much as you can into the back of your ribcage. And then come back to tabletop. Bring the knees underneath your hips again. Take an inhale, stay for the exhale, and on the next inhale, open out to the right this time. And then exhale, stretch the needle all the way down. Inhale, open up again. Exhale, stretch the needle. Inhale, open up. And then place the hand down, back into the ordinary tabletop. Be nice and strong through your shoulders again. Tuck your toes and come all the way into downward dog again. Take an inhale, lift your right leg high. And then right leg, right knee, that stays. Exhale, 3-legged dog. Inhale, knee to nose. And exhale, 3-legged dog. And then inhale, bring the foot forward, put it down. Have the back, knee down, unflip the toe. Take an inhale, come all the way up. Think about tucking the tailbone, being nice and strong, have active hands, let the shoulders slide down. And then tuck the back too, and come all the way up into high lunge. Yeah, well done. Stay here for a moment. And then turn your left foot into warrior two. God, that was my hip clicking. Perfect. Take an inhale here. And then turn forward to your right leg again. Bring the hands down. Step back into downward dog. Walk it up a little bit. And then lift the left leg high. Left knee to left elbow. 3-legged dog again. Left knee to nose. 3-legged dog one more time. And then move the foot through. Right leg down. Take an inhale. Come all the way up. Stay here for a moment. Think about active hands. Tuck your tailbone a little bit. Roll the shoulders down. And then you know what's coming. Tuck the right toe and lift all the way up into whoops, high lunge. And you're all doing so much better than I do. Well done. And then on the next exhale, twist the right leg open and come into warrior two here. Think about nice relaxed shoulders, really straightening the arms to the side. Think about pushing the front knee to the outside. And maybe you can lower a little bit more. And pivot back forward, bring the hands down, step forward, forward fold. Inhale into a half lift. Exhale, forward fold again. And then come all the way up to mountain pose. Hands to heart. Anybody any water? I could do with some. Are we warm enough? Is this too hot? Right. I don't know if you have noticed where this is going. There's a little bit of resting in between. Not that much really, right? There's quite a bit of hip opening, quite a bit of strength. Are your wrists still okay? Yeah? And we spend a few more moments now to find some more ways of getting into warrior 2. So, take an inhale into high mountain pose. Stay there and then just move your left foot behind your right foot in sort of T position. That's a weird one, isn't it? So you have the right foot parallel to the long side of the mat and the left foot parallel to the, yeah, excellent. And now you should have noticed while you were doing this, you kind of had a little drift of where your hips are, right? Now, just step back. That's your warrior 2. Bring the arms down. And this might be quite a short warrior 2, but it's a very easy way to get into it, right? Right. Pivot forward again, bring the hands down again. Step forward and forward fold. Take a half lift. Forward fold again and come up to mountain pose one more time. Same thing, other foot. So you bring the right foot back. So left foot is parallel to the long side. Right foot is parallel to the short side. And then you just take a step back and you're in a perfect warrior 2. Short one, but perfect, right? Not that difficult, is it really? And pivot forward again, bring the hands down, forward fold. Take a half lift on inhale. Forward fold again, and then come all the way up to standing. Hands to heart. Take another inhale, but this time come to chair. In the chair, sort of feel, can you bring your bum quite far back? Can you lower down? Can you be a bit higher? Wherever you are, have a nice strong back. If the arms beside your head are an issue, just put your hands to heart center. Oh no, it's not an issue for anybody, good. And then move some weight onto your right leg. Lift your left leg off the ground. Oh, I'm so wonky today. Begin to move into the back, and while you're doing that, try to lean forward a little bit. Then twist that leg a little bit, and you come into warrior 2. Yay! Let me show you again. You just, sit a little. Let me just come back here. I'm in my chair. I lift the leg. I begin to really sort of stretch forward, and at the same time, bring the leg back, and then just come to stand. Excellent. Now, open both legs out and come into star. This is mean because you are not facing me. And another way to get into warrior 2 is obviously now you turn your left foot parallel to the long side, the right foot parallel to the short side, and you're in the warrior 2 the other way. Oof, mean. Then pivot over, hands down to the ground, forward bend, half lift, forward bend again, come all the way up to mountain pose, hands to heart center, on the next inhale, chair. So this time, bring your weight into your left leg, lift the right leg, begin to lean forward and bring the leg back, and see if you can stand elegantly, yeah, you all can, into a warrior 2. Excellent. Then bring yourself into star, so straighten both legs, bring the arms up, and then twist the other way. So right foot is parallel to the long side, left foot is parallel to the short side. Well done. And because it's so much fun, bring your left hand to your left hip, bring the right hand overhead, and lean over into a reverse warrior. Think about lowering your front knee a little bit. Aha. And then bring the right elbow to the right knee, left hand comes overhead, extended warrior. And come on back up into warrior 2, come into star, and change over to the warrior 2 the other way. Excellent. And And take your right hand to your right hip, bring the left arm overhead, wrap your shoulder. It's a reverse warrior, so the other way. Yay! Brilliant. And then on the next exhale, left elbow onto the left knee, right hand comes overhead, wrap that shoulder and lean over. And come back to warrior two. You are getting so strong, all of you. And come back into a star. And then sit down into a horse. Oh yes. And then lean forward, straighten the legs, come into straddle forward bend. Take an inhale into a halfway lift. Exhale, forward bend again. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, stay in your forward bend. And then move both arms over to your left ankle. That's called egg beater. And just enjoy the stretch into your right shoulder, into your right rib cage. On the next inhale, walk through center and go the other way. And then come back to center. Take an inhale into a halfway lift. Bring your hands to your hips and with a very straight back, come all the way up. And then, heel to toe, your feet together, come to standing for a moment. Have another little bit of water maybe. How are we feeling? Are we still alive? You are all getting so much stronger. I can remember that it was a big deal to get into warrior two. And you might be sort of still a little bit wonky, but not much. I think I'm more wonky than you are now.
Not sure.
Right. The block, bolster was a block. Bring it down in the middle of the mat, facing me, that might be a bit easier. Sorry I had you all the other way around, but you all did really well. And then see if you can just lower down into a squat. Right? You can do that slowly, how far you get that. And just, get nice and comfortable, have your both seat bones there. Be nice and tall, take a few moments on breathing here. And of course you're not going to sit down here forever, right? So enjoy the rest for a moment. And then I would like you to just lift up from here. Take a block. If lifting up from there is a difficulty, grab your block, sit down again, use the block and just come up. And then maybe you can lower down. And then sit down again. Excellent. Let's try that again. With the hands or not, doesn't matter. But you can really nicely relax your head and neck here, maybe shake it out, yes and no. And then if you can, maybe you can just come down and back up. And one more time down. And do that with the block or without the block. Or stay there, also good. And then come all the way up to standing again. Weird one, isn't it? Bring that out to the side one more time. And then come to sit down. With the feet in front of you. Have a nice straight back. Bring the hands in front of you. A little bit more core work before we go away, right? Bring the hands up. And then come all the way down. Lie down. Bring the hands above your head for a moment. And then bring your right foot over your left knee and just leave it there for a moment. And then see if you can move both legs towards your torso without using your hands. No, that's so good. Yay! Well done. Clasp your knees round the left knee. And then think about having the pelvis still on the ground. Maybe flex the right foot. And just take a few breaths here to balloon into the belly, expand all the muscles and ligaments. And on the exhale, relax a little bit more. Then move your left leg slightly over to the left. Be just very gentle with yourself. Just for a different sensation of the stretch. And then bring the hands out into T position and see if you can move your legs over to the left, still in figure of 4. And take 3 breaths here. And on the next inhale, move them back. That can be quite hard work. And switch the legs out. Bring the left foot over your right knee. Bring your hands above your head again. For a nice little abdomen stretch. And then on the inhale, bring the knees in without using your hands if you can. And then clasp your hands around your right knee. Find the correct position, the comfortable, but in such a way that you still feel the stretch. Concentrate on keeping the pelvis on the ground. Maybe flex that left foot. And then take 3 deep breaths here. And move your right leg very gently over to the right. And take another 3 breaths for slightly different sensation. And let go of the legs. Bring your arms out into T position. And see if you can move this figure of 4 onto the ground. Think about the strength of your breath here. Then on the next inhale, bring both legs back in. And cross them, clasp the outside of your soles of your feet. And come to happy baby. Think about keeping the pelvis on the ground. Bring the knees as close to the armpits as it's comfortable. Enjoy this for a few breaths. And then maybe swing a little bit from side to side. And then let go of the legs. Bring your hands underneath your sides one more time. Begin to roll forwards and backwards until you come back to seated position. I have one more exercise for you before you stop. Bring yourself into Baddha Konasana. That can be with the legs quite far back or quite close to you. Grab the bolster. Put it in front of you. Don't get the zip in front of your face. And then put your head into the bolster, and get a nice sort of stretch forward. If you're really flexible, you can go further down. You can put a block underneath and do it this way or that way. So just play with this for a moment and see what it does for you, whether it is the original of putting yourself into it. And the idea is to give you enough support that this pose feels relaxed. And I invite you to play with it, because that's what it is for. And on the next inhale, we gently roll yourself all the way up. And then you can play with the same thing as we did in the beginning for the final Shavasana. And maybe you want to grab a blanket. Make sure that you make it nice and comfortable here. I think this is probably quite nice. Make sure that you bring the arms out with a nice chest opener. Maybe you want your knees having, knocking into each other. Or maybe Baddha Konasana is nice. Or maybe you just have the legs straight out. Just play with whatever might feel good. Experiment. Just imagine you dream of falling. And you're going with 120 miles per hour towards the ground, and you've just discovered that you have those little bit more moments to spare before you hit the ground. Or maybe you decide you can fly. Let your breathing return to normal. And after all these poses, it might be a good moment to do a little body scan, just to make sure that you let go of the last bit of tension. So think about your toes, the balls of your feet, your heels, the top of your feet, your calves and knees, your thighs and hips, and switch your attention to your fingers and palms, to the top of your hand, excuse me, your wrists, your lower arms and elbows, your upper arms and shoulders, and then refocus on your breathing. Think about ballooning up to your abdomen, and let it travel all the way into your chest, all the way up to your collarbone. And think about your neck and jaw. Really move the jaw from side to side, just to fully relax. Maybe roll the tongue in your mouth. Relax your eyebrows and temples. And then reach the top of your head. You can stay here for as long as you like. If you feel ready to be guided out, begin by deepening your breath. And take some movement into fingers and toes. And then roll over to one side, roll yourself gently off the bolster into embryo position. Stay here for another 3 breaths. Just enjoy the weight of your body against the ground. And using both hands, very gently bring yourself up to seated. Sit whatever is comfortable. Keep your eyes closed if that feels good. Take an inhale. Hold the breath at the top. And then exhale, sigh it all out, open mouth. Do another one just like that. Inhale, stop at the top, and then sigh it all out. And then take the deepest breath of this week. Hold at the top, and then sigh it all out. Bring hands to heart center. Take another deep inhale, really elongate the spine one more time. And then bow forward. Namaste. Namaste. Thank you so much for having joined me.
Thank you.
Okay. Let me switch that off.